With the holiday season well behind us, NASB2 has seen multiple updates. We had 1.5, which added Mr. Krabs and brought the universal controller fixes for offline play. We had the 1.6 hotfix, which fixed Grandma Gerties' recovery and also brought forward some halfway fixes for the projectile functionality, but introduced a heap of issues and new tech with it as well. And then finally, last Friday, Fairplay Labs pushed out the 1.7 update, which might just be the best patch NASB2 has ever seen. Introducing a wave of new features, like rotation mode, new items, new campaign power-ups, and a long list of bug fixes and balance changes, 1.7 was capable of bringing all of this, and so far, no huge bugs or exploits. Well, what was fixed? And there was a lot of it, so let's get right into the nitty-gritty. But there were plenty of big things fixed with this update, most notably the removal of flashing Mr. Krabs bug that I will not be showing on screen because it could cause seizures, because genuinely it was that bad. They fixed an issue with projectiles where items and projectile hitboxes would trade against character hitboxes where they were supposed to be destroyed instead. They also fixed an issue where projectiles got stuck on platforms as they traveled through them. They also fixed the infinite victory screen bug, where the match would softlock if a player taunted during a certain time on the finish screen. And not only did they fix some big issues, but they also added just some pretty cool additions as well. So first off, they added that new game mode, Rotations. With up to 3 or 4 players, you can play in a King of the Hill format in 1v1 style gameplay, and this can be played in singles with stocks or singles with timer only. And pretty much in this game mode, anytime a player is KO'd or knocked out of the ring, it goes to the waiting list for the next player in the rotation, and the next player seamlessly enters the fight all during the match with no loading screens. It's really fun. I've played it a ton with a couple friends of mine, and if you have a group of 3 or 4 and you're not really keen on having to have a whole match rotation wait time for each player, you can do this instead, and then each person in the lobby gets to play just for a stock, and whoever keeps winning keeps staying in, and I think it's pretty awesome because of that. They also added some new stages, more so as variants than like a real new stage, but still a whole new stage as a flat, which is like an FD layout, a double, which is like a dual plat, and triangle layouts for Food Dreams. Yeah, that's what we got, and whole new stages for Food Dreams, and then a ton of new campaign power-up packs. This is huge. So we've got the Ring of Range and the Crown of Fire, and when both are obtained, all attacks ignore block and super armor, which is pretty broken. The Secret Formula and Krabby Patty ingredients. When both of these items are obtained, it enables the chance for a perfect Krabby Patty to appear. And pretty much what that does is the perfect Krabby Patty ignores debuffs and a percentage of the damage. Next up is the Jellyfish Jelly power-up. You pretty much get to throw and spawn 3 jellyfish that try to shock your nearest opponent until they appear. Then we get into the items. There's completely new items for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. And we had plenty already, but now we have even more, which is really exciting. So we've got the Fenton Thermos, which was from NASB1, where you pretty much throw a thermos and watch how ghosts appear to haunt your opponent, and it pretty much creates a hitbox on the battlefield wherever it lands. The Electrified Glove, which I'm pretty sure is completely new, and you pretty much grab it, and you can stun your opponents on your next hit, which is pretty cool. Now a fan favorite from NASB1, the Lawn Gnome. Pretty much the way this works is you throw a gnome, and it just follows behind you from a certain distance, and creates a giant electrical field between you and your opponent, electrifying them if they get in the way. It is the goofiest item I've ever seen in a platform fighter, and I have some others that are my actual favorites, but this one is definitely like one of the best items easily in all of Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. And finally, the Ultra Zuka, or known as the Ultra Snow Zuka. It's pretty much a weapon that you grab and shoot different sized snowballs out of, and it's really cool because the size of the snowball is based on how long you hold the light attack button. So if your attack button's set to A, you just simply hold A, and there you go. Overall, while there isn't anything new bug-wise this patch, the balance changes are for sure head scratchers for plenty of the cast. Some characters were absolutely gutted, like Reptar, who, while was a top tier, had his overall damage on every move he has slightly reduced, and his down special nerf kinda got sent to oblivion. Whereas other characters like Aang had their light up air buffed to combo into strong up air. This buff to a character who's arguably top 2 at worst has easily made him the strongest character in the game, and we've already seen it in full display. Aang has been this good since launch, and while for sure he's had some small nerfs to his up special height and the ability to cancel out of it with air dodge, the character just has too strong of simple options, like strong up air, that can single-handedly deal tons of damage, combo into itself, and take stocks. This, combined with their wide array of recovery options and triple jump, make Aang an extremely strong character, and that hasn't changed since launch. This leads to the main criticism of this patch, which is just the balance choices. Yes, Reptar is strong and probably deserved the damage reduction nerf, but buffing an even stronger character, even if the change wasn't really intended to do so, and not nerfing other extremely strong options like Sup-Air, gives off confusion in terms of what the team's balance changes are trying to do to the meta. Other changes that also are head scratchers are Raphael with him getting nerfs to his neutral EX special Shuriken, with it having a damage and shield damage reduction, when generally he's fallen out of the meta for at least a month or two now. Another mid-tier who's been nerfed this patch unexpectedly was Ember, who had her charged up air hitboxes size reduced, which is arguably a change that should be directed at Aang. Both moves are both large circular hitboxes with multi-hit properties that combo into themselves, yet Ember's kills far later and is now smaller than it was before. I won't be going over the full patch in this video, but I thought it was important to highlight changes like this to address and question why things like this were decided on in the first place. I'm not opposed to a lot of these changes, even the ones to like the mid-tiers, but I think it's a fair question to ask why the same nerfs weren't given to Aang and why Reptar was once again gutted seemingly out of the blue. But I digress. If you'd like to see a video discussing all of the changes for patch 1.7, make sure to let me know by leaving a comment for it below. So overall, I think this patch has earned a thumbs up from me. If I had to rate it out of 10, I'd probably give it like a 7. In the past, I'd say patches were closer to a 5. I think the game is headed in the right direction at honestly a faster pace than I would expect. Make sure as a community to keep leaving comments on like their social medias or videos like this one, just expressing your thoughts about the patches as well. The community is super involved with things like the stage list, the balance changes, and I think that the more vocal people are just about certain things, even if you already feel that the community's been pretty dang vocal about certain things, it's important to just keep doing so to kind of nail it in, you know? If you liked this video, make sure to do the usual things of sharing it with pressing the like button and leaving a comment as well. Doing these things just really greatly helps the channel, so I'd super appreciate it if you could like this video, as well as just share it to somebody who's interested in NASB2's newest patch. I'll be back next week on Friday with NASB2 series for casual content. So it's all new stuff, completely new. So just keep your eyes open for that, as well as some new YouTube shorts and TikToks, and a wide array of weekly events that I have planned as well. So I really appreciate you watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.